Okay, so we're going to try and solve a problem on Code Wars. I'm just going to click on the first one they suggest. So write a program that will calculate the number of trailing zeros in a factorial of a given number. So I don't know what a factorial is. For more info, World of... Thing is, I don't know how to read maths, so why is there an exclamation mark there? Right, so it's just multiplying, right? So 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 is 24. Okay. Okay. So yeah, so we calculate, so we walk down from that number. So we calculate the range between the given number and 1, and then we multiply them, right? That sounds pretty easy. So so calculate the number of trailing zeros. Well, calculating the trailing zeros isn't going to be the hard part, is it? That's just going to be calculating the factorial is going to be the hard part. So I feel like this should be easy, right? So right. So let's start by getting the tests that they've given us. So they've given us this. Oops, I always forget you can't copy paste in the normal way. Cool. Cool, so, and we need to create a function called zeros. Okay. So calculate the range. So I'm not very good at naming variables. So series of numbers. So how exactly does range work? So if we do range for 1, what do we get? Well, that's not what we want, is it? Huh. All right, well, we just do range. So the order doesn't match, I don't think. So, well, hang on, do we even need the 1? Yeah, we do, because otherwise it gives us a 0. Or we can just, no, we can do that, right? So we just do range n, and then we increment all of them. Is that efficient? That's not efficient though, is it? That's a waste of resources. So no, rather than incrementing all of them, we just, no, we don't need an extra clause. So we just do range, range 1 to plus 1n. Cool. 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 And then yeah, what we do is we sum them, right? So oops. Apply. Okay. They've given us some examples too. So 0's 6 should be 1, right? Yeah, but what's the factor? So all I've done so far is written a function that calculates the. So the factorial of 4 should be 24. So no, so it's not working. So because we're multiplying, right? Not adding. Cool. So far we've got a function that calculates the fact. Okay, so let's rename this to number of trailing zeros. Okay. Oh, it says at the bottom, you're not meant to calculate the factorial. Find another way to find the number of zeros. Really? Okay, I'm going to ignore that for the moment. Well, hang on. What? So are they expecting me to do some clever maths trick? Because I don't know maths tricks. Find another way to calculate the number of zeros. Well, I can't imagine how they're... So is the problem that we'll get performance issues if we try to... Well, I'm going to ignore that hint for the moment and just implement it the obvious way. Right, so we have this integer. How do we find out the number of zeros? So it's not always obvious how to do that. What did I just? I don't like these errors. Okay, so don't know how to. Yeah. So if we convert it into a string, then we can convert it into a sequence. So if instead of running seq we run reverse, right? And then we just count. Yeah, we can just use reduce on that, right? Reduce, yeah. Although there's this function, there's this function I heard of called take while, which I've never tried. Return a lazy sequence of successive items of collection while predicate item return. Yeah, this looks suitable. So if we do a take while, and our predicate is our predicate is just equals wrong number of arguments. What? Oh yeah. Yeah, cool. That's easy. And then we just do what's the function for counting? The number of, is it just count? Cool. All right, what with that? Cool. So it's a bit ugly, but so let's try this. Why is it unhappy with what the? I'm getting some weird syntax highlighting. Huh? Is that? Oh, because I haven't. Oh, don't be silly. Cool. So does it work now? So 6 should be 1 and 12 should be 2. Um, okay, so this works. It's a bit ugly. Can we tidy this up? So let's tidy that up a bit. So should we? Do we need that version? Is that how you write it? I can never remember. I think that's right. And then we just no, that's ugly because then we'd have to. No, this is fine. So we just. Cool. Good. So does that work? Cool. So this works, but so presumably what's going to happen is that. So it says, "Be careful. 1000 has 250 blah 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 digits." Why would that matter? 1000, 2000 doesn't seem like a big problem. No. Right. So why exactly is that too big? So the multiply function is unhappy with what? Oh, so we're giving the multiply function. Oh, yeah, the multiply function. We're just like shoving a huge amount of things into it, aren't we? Well, we can do it incrementally, but you're not meant to calculate the factorial. I'm not going to be able to find another way of doing it. It's just going to be some clever maths trick that only mathematicians know. I mean, I can try and figure it out mathematically, but I have no... Am I supposed to read up on it here? the factorial, again, I don't know what this exclamation mark means. It gives the number of ways in which n objects can be permuted. If we search the page for trailing, as n grows large, factorials begin acquiring tails of trailing zeros. To calculate the number of trailing zeros, use this thing which I cannot read at all. I don't even know what type of maths this is. I literally have no idea. Like, what's this weird E thing? What the hell? So is this yeah, what does that mean? Summation indicates summation. The sum of terms that follow a pattern. It's very small, I can barely read it. Wow. I still don't understand. So n over 5k. So hang on. So what is k? What are these things? K max being what? What's k? None of these things are defined. Oh, where k max equals log 5 of n. So are you telling me, so we need to calculate the log 5 of n, but I still wouldn't know what this, I still don't understand how this, to evaluate this equation. I don't know what this syntax means. Too many of these closure problems require knowledge of maths. Okay, this will be an interesting test of ChatGPT. Well, it says it's analyzing it. The question is, does ChatGPT have the ability to download the image? No, apparently not. I'm unable to directly access external URLs. Huh? Well, it looked like it was trying. It might not like SVGs. This isn't a standard web page, so you can't take a screenshot. Well, that's helpful. The problem is I'm running a virtual machine and I can't even remember what the key binding is to take a screenshot. If we press Alt and F2, do we get, okay, a screenshot. XFCE for screen shooter. Okay. Select a region. Copy to clipboard. Okay. So how do you like this, ChatGPT? Right, so is it correctly passed the image? Yes, I think so. As far as I can tell. So this indicates a sum over the values of k starting at 1 and going up to k max. Ah. The sum... Wait, but... The sum, oh I see the sum. So not product, but sum, okay. So we calculate the sum instead of the product. And then what, we multiply it by n over 5k. Yeah, we can try and implement all this maths in Clojure. So hang on, so Zoom keeps getting messed up. So where Kmax equals log 5n, where Kmax equals a log 5n, okay. I mean, the thing is as well, I mean, how do we even do logarithms? I mean, I'm not, so I'm fairly sure that if we want to do logarithms and things, we need a Clojure library, a Clojure maths library. So is Clojure.math part of the standard library? So we've got Clojure.math/log. Okay. So is that available? Class not found. Yeah, because is that right? So Clojure. I just can't remember the syntax for requiring stuff, to be honest. Do we just do, maybe we just put that in. Okay. Ah, cool. All right. Nice, and it's available, so cool. Right. So we need to what? So we need to. Okay. So we're going to just need a completely new function, aren't we? So oops. So cool. So I hate naming these variables. So was it log k or something? Log k max. So k max is going to be well, hang on. Let's. m/log. So log what? So log 5n. So how? So wrong number of argument. There's a syntax error. What? Why does this happen? So this is still messed up. So can we not? Okay. Now, don't we just love errors? Sorry, what? Wait, why is this even in brackets? Okay, thank you. Cool. So basically, what? How do we specify our base? Does it say on the website? Right, so we can't specify a base. Okay. Like, I know there's a way that you can calculate. Should we ask ChatGPT again? So, if we have the ability to so just from memory, and I don't even know if I'm right, but there's this thing called a natural logarithm. How can we calculate a certain base? Hello? You can use the change of base formula. So log, okay. You'd think Clojure would provide a thing to do. What am I looking at? You'd think Clojure would provide such a thing out of the box. Okay. All right. Well, okay. Let's make a function. So, so we're taking two arguments, so base and n. There's almost no need to comment this. So yeah. So what is it? So we're dividing. We're dividing a thing by a thing. So we're dividing the log of which order does it go in? So we divide the log of x by the log of, okay, so log. Cool. So is that so can we now cool, but how do I know if that's correct? I have a calculator right here, but I probably don't know how to use this either. Log. You'd really think, wouldn't you, that they'd provide out of the box function. Oh, there we go. Hang on. Yeah. So log 5 of 4. Cool. That's correct. 0.86135, etc. This should be in the standard library. I just don't get why they don't provide that. All right. Anyway. So right, so this Kmax thing, so what was that? So Kmax is log 5 of n, right? Log 5 of n. Okay, cool. So we've got Kmax. And then we, I forget what this, so we sum the range between, wait. So we sum the range between 1 to this Kmax thing we've just calculated. Range 1 Kmax. I never know what to call these variables. All right, so that's this thing in theory. So we multiply it by n over 5k, is that right? Hang on. So what does k mean in this context? Wait, have I not read this correctly? Sorry, what are we? So we're summing over the value. So are we summing the result of? Wait, what's n? N being what? A given integer number that you're calculating the sum for. Oh yeah, obviously. I still don't understand the equation, right? So what I'm not getting is essentially you're summing up the number of times n can be divided by the powers of 5. Without going into fractions. What? The problem with this is it's going to take a long time for me to solve this because I don't even understand the syntax of the maths. I mean, we can try it both ways and see what happens. I need more guidance on how to read this E thing. Yeah, I don't just need a definition, I need an actual explanation how to read it. This website doesn't like dark reader. So we want to sum the first 4 squared integers. This is fascinating. I squared. Okay, so we're summing. Right. So this is like a loop in programming. Huh. This is literally a loop in fascinating. I didn't know there was this kind of crazy math syntax for doing loops. Okay, so at least I understand it now. All right. All right. So Kmax is not that. Right. So we're back to the actual. Why is it so small? Okay. So between this range. Between this range, we calculate this equation and then we sum them all. So the summing is happening at the highest level of abstraction. So let's get rid of this let. Right. So we're doing our summing at the top. And inside that, we're calling a function with a range. So we're mapping a function over a range. Is that right? So range 1 to oh, we do still need to calculate Kmax. I shouldn't have deleted my code. All right. What was Kmax? Log 5 of n. Log 5 of n. Okay. Right, so this foobar function, so what exactly is it doing? So foobar is doing this n divided by 5k thing. So so this function is going to need to know n. I'm not an expert on how variable scope works in Clojure, but I don't think it will be able to see that, will it? Anyway, so what's actually happening here? So we're just dividing n by 5 to the power of k. 5, so that's correct, right? 5 to the power. I never trust my knowledge of this maths syntax. To me, that looks like 5 to the power of. Yeah, 5 to the power of k. So this Clojure Maths API, does it have some sort of power function? Do we exp? Right. So if we look for so if we go back to math, is there any, if we search the page for exp? Oh, a Euler's number. Okay, but I just need powers. Returns the value of a raised to the power of b. Well, okay, that makes sense. So let me just test it. So so 5 to the power of 2 should be 25, right? Yeah. And 5 to the power of 3 would be, yeah, that makes sense. Cool. So we just use, right, so let's not bother even making a foobar function. Let's do it inline. Although I don't generally approve of this, because the problem with inline functions is, well, let's try it like that. The problem with inline functions is that it can make everything a bit hard to read. But since we're just implementing some crazy equation that no one's going to understand anyway, maybe it doesn't matter. Right, so what's so n divided by? So divide n by 5 to the power of k. K being the symbol because we're doing a, is that it? Divide n by, yeah, that looks right. So we're mapping that over. To me, that looks correct. So be cool if this works. Well, that's not what we expect. Because if we summed it, so we're summing, yeah. Well, that's clearly not worked. The problem is, how do I even debug this? Because well, if I've implemented the equation correctly, then this should work, right? So did we calculate Kmax correctly? So log 5 base of n. Log 5 of n. Looks correct to me. So then we're calculating the range, but so is this, oh, no, this will be the problem. Because like if we do, yes, I don't know why range behaves this way. Because I mean, it always seems to be that, okay. Cool, so does it work now? What? Okay. So we're calculating n over 5 to the power of k. Wait, where's our experiment with? Yeah, this should be correct. What could be the problem? I mean, it looks correct to me. I mean, I'm probably just well, I must just be misunderstanding the maths. Because as I understand it, So if we get rid of this and just see what. I must be doing something dramatically wrong. What's so this thing does what? Indicates a summation, right? So I thought summing means adding things together. Is that correct? Okay, so what are we getting for our K-max calculation? Um, yeah, our K-max is not an integer. So, well, that would be our problem. Like, what even happens when you do? I mean, what even? Yeah, so that'll be our problem. Because, well, I assume it is. And x is the floor function. X? There is no x. Yeah, but there is no x in this bloody... I don't understand. So x is just some mysterious undefined thing that isn't actually in the equation, okay. Is x something that pertains specifically to this symbol? Is x some like undefined? This symbol, is it a thing? Is it a character that I can copy paste? What the? No, so I can't paste it. The sum of a sequence of terms, yes. A lower limit and an upper limit. The variable x in relation to summation is the So hang on. So you know how it said like K max? What is that max part the thing I need to pay attention to? And since we are taking the floor function, is there any significance to the word max? Does that mean anything? Well, I don't know. As far as I can tell, I've implemented the formula I've been given, but it's giving me these decimal results, and I don't really understand the maths anyway. Did I read it correctly, right? So where k max equals log 5. This returns a non-integer number, though. That's the problem. I mean, this summation function thing, how big are the increments between how big are the increments between steps of 1? So how do we know they're steps of 1, and why are they steps of 1? And if they're steps of 1, then what happens when k max is not an integer? Sometimes ChatGPT spends so long thinking about it that a human could almost type it that fast. A really smart human. But in practice, for the summation, we only use integer values. We'd use the greatest integer less than or equal to. Yeah, I believe that's what we're doing. Because look, that's what Well, I've implemented it. Like this implements the equation specified. Yeah, I don't get it. Our output is 1.44. Oh, do we just need to round it down? Is it something dumb like that? All right. I'm assuming there might be some sort of cool m/4. Right. So was it working or alarm? Okay. Huh. Have we actually done it? Huh. And then the problematic one was 1000, was it? Okay. So we might have actually done this and learned some maths as we did so. Right, so we can run the tests that they've already given us. Cool, so why would they call this that? That's not even... Is this even a valid... Why would... Wait. That's not even a valid closure. Okay, I don't know why they've done that, but... So the linter has some beef against this. Testing or... Oh. Whatever it is, I'm going to assume. Okay, so our test result. Okay, so that, yeah, we've got a it just wants the number without the 0.0 on the end. So how do we? I'm not immediately. Right. So what are we getting here? So we're getting a java.lang.double. But we want... Okay. So how do we convert it? There's an int function, isn't there? So can we just do this? Oh. Okay. So this is all getting a bit yeah, let's rewrite this using threading because we need to not have an epic unreadable mess. So we start off with our map. And then we thread through to and then we do a floor. No, I don't need that. Is this correct code? The linter doesn't like it. What did I do? What did I do? Wait. Sorry, what's the error? Class cast exception. I think it might be because we're using a macro. Oh no, hang on. I'm being a spoon. Okay, it still doesn't like it. So symbol can't be cast to I persistent. Okay, look, I can't be bothered with this, right? We're just gonna have to put it back how it was. I'm sure this video is already too long. So this matches up to there, right? So we don't just int on it, right? Cool. Have I forgotten how to cool. So our tests are passing. Good. Cool. Well, I think this is it. So yeah, we just need from here down to here. Yeah, we don't need the don't need the comment, obviously. I'm sure there will be other people who've solved this in a more elegant way, but as I said, this video is long enough. Okay, so if we click test, okay, what are you? Oh, it's upset because we haven't imported. Okay, test. Ready? Could not locate math. Oh, come on. Are you telling me that their environment doesn't have the math library? Really? We're using it for logarithms and we're using it for floor. Yeah, I really don't want to have to re-implement logarithms. Really? Is that really the case? I can't use math. How am I supposed to do it then? I don't see how it's possible to solve this if I can't use the math library. 2 issues reported. We must be able to use the math library. So it said 2 issues reported. What am I looking at? Issue 33. We must be able to use the math library. How do I get back to the problem? What just happened? How do I get back to the problem? Hello? How do I get back to the problem that I was just solving? Anyway, so what we did was we clicked test. We must be able to acquire the math library. I can't imagine how anybody could possibly. Code was could not locate. None of these results are pertinent to Code Wars. How in Code Wars do we get libraries? Libraries to use. If we can't use the math library, then how can we solve it? I don't understand. Well, I'm going to call this a success. I've solved the problem. The fact that if we click, what happens if we click attempt? Because it could be that a different, same problem. So let's click unlock solutions. This will cause you to forfeit your ability to earn rank, whatever. Wow. So he hasn't needed to use the math library. So I used the math library for logarithms. So are these people just like maths geniuses who've found their own algorithm for solving it? This guy isn't using anything from the maths library, he's got a completely different algorithm. So what's Quat? I don't even know what that is. Quotient of dividing numerator by denominator. Yeah, so I think this guy's using a completely different algorithm. But where did they get these algorithms from? Solved by counting all factors of 5 in range. No, so he is using the same kind of algorithm. But they haven't implemented. Okay, whatever. I think it's a success. I successfully implemented the algorithm, and I successfully solved the problem. I don't know why we're not allowed to import basic libraries like the math library. But yeah, cool. Well, I learned some things. Well, what I would like to know is what type of maths is this? Like this type of maths that I had to get ChatGPT to explain to me. If I wanted to learn this kind of shit, what book would I read? Well, that's a question for later. Okay, bye then.